Hey, Jay.
Hi, Victoria.
This
Hi.
is Jay,
Hi, guys.
otherwise known as on Instagram.
Well, on YouTube, I'm Plant-Based Athlete.
Right, on Plant-Based Athlete, and I'll put a link below. And on Instagram,
80-10-10 Athlete.
80-10-10 Athlete.
Yeah. And I'm on Snapchat now, too.
Oh, yeah? You got Snapchat?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
PBA 808. That's
Okay.
interesting.
And his girlfriend is Banana 108.
Banana Blondie 108. Yeah.
And that's on YouTube as well,
Yeah.
and Instagram.
And Instagram, right?
I recommend you follow both. So you
Thank
get
you.
some information, you get some yoga, and we're going to ask you now, how did you start out with the plant-based lifestyle? Did you come from a meat-based lifestyle?
Oh, totally. I was doing paleo like 6-7 years ago.
And how about Atkins?
Not
high fat?
not paleo, Atkins. I was
Atkins,
Yeah.
the high fat.
Yeah, I ate like standard American diet growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went through phases where I was like lifting in college, where I thought I was eating healthy, you know, like tons of protein.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I was eating lots of fruits and veggies and rice and like tuna and stuff like that.
Right,
you know,
right.
low.
How'd you feel?
Better than when I was eating the standard American diet, but not good. And then when I got older and I was doing Atkins, I felt constipated and tired, and that's when I got hooked on caffeine. And I was doing like 8 shots of espresso a day.
Because you were tired? You were fatigued?
Yeah, I had no carbohydrates, you know.
Like none?
None. Yeah, I mean very minimal. I
How
would
about
I would binge on like ice cream once a week or something because I wanted food. You know what I mean? I wanted carbs, so I'd always eat that.
Were you a runner at any time? Or?
Yeah, when I got to Hawaii,
How long ago?
12 years ago in January of 2003, and I was in the worst shape of my life. I was like almost 40 pounds heavier than I am now.
Wow.
I'm only 5'6".
That's a lot more.
Yeah. So when I got to Hawaii, I was like, I stopped eating, you know, large pizza deliveries in Brooklyn at 10:30 at night. After I was a stockbroker and I was miserable, so I'd call the pizza place on the way home when the train came above ground, and I'd be like, "Can I get a delivery?" I wouldn't.
You wouldn't even wait till you got home.
Yeah, and it would be there, and I'd eat a whole pizza at 10 at night.
You lived in Brooklyn?
So yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
where I'm from.
So of course I lost weight when I got to Hawaii, and I stopped eating like that, like 2,000 calories at 11 at night, you know. But I started running a lot, and I'd always lifted my whole life, but I got really into it again, and I was running, and I ended up getting into running for the first time in my life, and I was running probably nothing compared to Michael, but nobody is. But I was running like, you know, 5-6 days a week for, you know, 40 minutes to 50-minute runs.
Nice.
That's
substantial.
Yeah, that's a lot of miles per week.
More than what I'm doing
Yeah,
now.
for somebody who never ran, you know. So I lost a lot of weight, but like I said, I never even drank coffee until my early 30s when I was out here, and I started getting into espresso. I bought my own machine. So I was doing like 4 espressos in the morning and then 4 in the afternoon. I was exhausted.
Wow, 4 and 4, 8?
Yeah, 8 a day.
Espressos? Wow.
Yeah, and I was constipated. And
But did the coffee help? Like, is that why you took it? Because you like needed a laxative, or?
I don't know why.
That's why I used to do it.
I think I just didn't have energy. But then eventually, when you drink that much coffee, that doesn't even work anymore.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I started weaning off high carb, you know, years ago here, and then I was still eating meat and stuff a lot, but I noticed I was starting to crave more like fruit and vegetables.
Being here in the subtropics.
Yeah, exactly. So then in 2011, summer of 2011, I saw Forks Over Knives. I got into all the documentaries on Netflix back then, so I was watching like Food Inc. and all this, and then I watched Forks Over Knives, and I was like, whoa. And then a friend from high school recommended after I watched that to read the China Study. So I read that, and that, you know,
Yeah, it made so much sense.
Yeah, game, set, match. I was pretty much vegan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, it takes some time. Sometimes it took me 10 years on and off.
Yeah, and even when I first went plant-based, I read the China study and I watched.
To sink in.
I didn't know. I was still eating a lot of oil. Down to earth.
Yeah,
it's a place. It's a vegetarian store around the corner,
really
but
good food.
they do. But everything on their thing has oil in it.
Right.
They do everything. So I was probably eating. Well, I remember when I got chronometered when I first heard about high carb, low fat. I got chronometered, so I'm like, well, let me just plug into what I'm eating.
Yeah.
And I was eating like 40% fat as a
it's
vegan.
like the naked truth.
Yeah, so I was vegan 8 months before I went high carb, low fat.
Okay.
And then I went 80-10-10. I was raw for probably like 3 months.
How'd you hear about 80-10-10?
Just YouTube, the
30
internet.
bananas a day. And
I think I saw one of Harley and Freely's videos where Freely ate like 30 bananas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read.
Did you see any of anybody's videos like Dan McDonald or did you resonate just like right away? It clicked after that.
Yeah, it already clicked. I mean, I was still always reading stuff after I went vegan, and I think I was like, I don't know, I might have read something from McDougall or Forks Over Knives or China study about low fat, and I was like, whoa, I'm eating a lot of fat. So then I was just like looking up stuff online.
Yeah, you become obsessed and you start
and
doing
I found it. And then, that led me to the 80-10-10 diet by Doug Graham. I read that. And then,
the Fruit Festival.
And then summer of 2012, I went to the Woodstock Fruit Festival in New York when I was back east.
Did you get anything out of that with the lectures and everything?
Yeah, it was great, I got a lot out of it.
Met people.
Met people, yep. And then I saw that there was like a community of people eating this way and feeling great. And then
that year I think we had 650 people.
Yeah, it was a big
when you
one.
were there.
Yeah, it was a big one. And then I was always just reading stuff, and I got really into it. So then I started my YouTube channel. I started a Facebook page because all my Facebook friends were sick of me blabbing about plant-based diet. So I'm like, screw them, I'll just start my own
I know, I have
page.
to do another page also.
So I started a page on Facebook, and then YouTube, and then Instagram, and 3.5 years later, almost.
You just feel a total transformation for those.
Yeah, for me, I was already in shape before I started eating this way, like 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
And
but it upped the level.
But I was 38, and my body was starting to break down. I was starting to get like inflammation.
Yeah, after 35.
My shoulders were. I couldn't lift weights and do jiu-jitsu. I had to give up weights because my shoulder would kill. So much inflammation. So then, even when I was doing the oil, like the minute I went plant-based, but I still was having some oil, I noticed like my inflammation went away.
Wow.
So I was hooked more from a health perspective and things like that.
And it became ethical.
Yeah, exactly. My dad died of a heart attack in 2010. So everyone in my family was dying before their 75th birthday. Most of them in their 60s,
Death is a good teacher.
Yeah, heart attacks, cancer. And they were just eating crap, like everything was a feast on meat and dairy and processed foods. And so I did it for me, and then, I woke up to the...
Well, you're very much in shape.
I saw earthlings.
And, you're definitely a true testament to this lifestyle, and, thanks so much for telling everybody about this, and you never know who you're going to hit on my channel and your channel. Even if it's one person, at least you did something, and it all makes a difference. I really believe that. So
Victoria's been awesome to me out here. She's been my papaya hookup.
I deal with papayas.
I'm leaving Hawaii 2 weeks from today.
Yeah,
sad.
I'm gonna miss you.
But
you'll come visit.
We'll be back. My girlfriend grew up here, so we'll be back every year.
Yeah,
so.
Right in my area.
Yeah, we'll hit Victoria up every year.
Been great having you.
All right.
Well, it's not farewell. It's just goodbye. Thank you so much, Jay.
Thanks, Victoria.
Bye.
Bye.